the Frames Per Second podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Frames Per Second podcast. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Mike, and I have Spike, Ken, and Rod. What's up, fellas?
What up, though?
All right, and today we are talking about the newest film from Lee Daniels. This is called The Deliverance, and y'all might know Lee Daniels, maybe a little bit, but he did Precious, he did The Paperboy, he did The Butler, he did Empire, some other shit. I don't know. Only one of those movies I've seen is Precious, and that was damn near a horror movie itself. But yeah, this is his first official journey into horror. So yeah, I'm gonna start here. Rob, were you fucking with this?
I was on the fence with it, but I'm leaning more towards yes. Yes.
Okay. Spike, were you fucking with it?
No.
Damn.
No.
All right.
No.
And were you fucking with it?
I'm leaning towards no. Yeah, I think when it got to the end, I was like, oh, nah, this ain't it.
Damn. I like this. Surprisingly, I like this. I have some gripes. I think the ending was atrocious, but for the most part, I was seriously like, oh shit, wait, what? Oh snap! The whole time. I enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty good. We'll get to my gripes later, but were y'all surprised to see that it was a true story or inspired by a true story?
I was. Yep. I looked that up at the end when I saw it pop up, and I was like, oh, what the hell? This shit real? So yeah, I started reading into it. But yeah, I was definitely surprised by that.
They said that was the most interesting
part. Yeah.
They always, but yeah, how they said it is stuff that I always see though. I don't, believe
inspired by true events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what they said with this one too. And I actually did go back and look up the story. It was about a woman named Latoya Amons in a house in Gary, Indiana. And yes, so a lot of this is not a lot of it actually. Some of this are actually things that she said did happen. So throughout the movie, I'll kind of pop in here and there and kind of tell y'all about that if y'all did not look it up. Because I watched a 40-minute documentary about this shit.
Damn.
It was very interesting. And I'll tell you why in a bit. But yeah, the movie starts off. We meet Ebony and her son, Andre. We see that Andre is drawing a painting in the bedroom. My first question, Rod, why did she lie to that little boy and tell him that painting was good with that shitty-ass Batman symbol on it?
Because she helped him.
Oh, okay.
She was being a supportive parent.
Oh, that's how it goes? Okay.
That's how it goes, Mike.
Okay. Well, shortly after seeing this happen, we meet the entire family, which is Ebony, the mom, Andre, the little son, Nate, my boy from Stranger Things, Shantae, the daughter, and Ebony's mom, Alberta, who is played by Glenn Close. Spike, what did you think of the family?
It was interesting. Glenn Close's role kind of put me off a little bit. I think she did a good job, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I was surprised. I ain't never seen Glenn Close like this.
Right.
Like, it wasn't bad. I will say that it wasn't bad. Like she was believable, but it was something in my brain that wasn't clicking with seeing Glenn Close being like black adjacent. Like I couldn't process it, man. It was like, what is going on?
She didn't sell it for you.
But I don't know if she did or didn't, right? It was just weird to see. I know. Because some of the notes were correct. Some of them were correct. I was like, look at Glenn Close, like getting in her bag. But then some of it's like, wait, what happened? But yeah, the Stranger Things kid was cool. The little other guy was cool. I thought the daughter did a great job. The mom. I think the mom did a really good job. I liked her acting in this. But yeah, the family was cool.
Oh, Andra Day. Ain't it Andra? Andra Day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is my first time seeing her.
She be doing this. So like I saw her in United States versus Billie Holiday. She killed that role. The movie wasn't that great, but I was very surprised by her performance. So when I didn't know she was going to be in this movie. So when I saw, I was like, oh, this should be interesting because I've seen her performance chops before, and I feel like she did a decent job in this.
Did you like the rest of the family?
Glenn Close, I feel Spike 100%. It was just weird. It was like funny at the same time, and like I don't know, it gave me a weird feeling every time she got on screen. I felt like the daughter was fine. The guy from Stranger Things was fine. Even the little boy, because I have hard times with child actors sometimes, but I feel like he had moments where he was okay, And I was just like, yeah, they did a decent job, man. I was really shocked. I was really shocked.
Yeah, Andra was a problem for me. She was okay, but there were times where she was a little too rough. Yeah. But I thought when I saw the guy for Stranger Things in it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm with this. But I felt like he had a reduced role. The other one was in King Richard, Shantae. I think she was Serena. She was fine. The boy was okay, but my favorite was Glenn Close, bro. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. I love Glenn Close. I don't recall ever watching any of her movies. I was completely perplexed by why she was in this movie. Because when she popped up, I was like, who is this white passing black woman? And then my wife said that was Glenn Close. And then I was like, oh, then I looked, I was like, oh. Because I thought they were trying to say a message with that at first. But she was like, nah, she's like 100% white. I was like, oh, shit. Absolutely loved her. I do agree with what you guys are saying about how it was on and off. But she was by far one of the most intriguing parts of this film because I needed to know her fucking story, bro. Because that shit didn't make any fucking sense while she was there. And I didn't get answers, bro.
She was like, you mean as if I had her? Yeah, she's my child. Yo,
God,
he was playing the hell out of this lady, bro. But no, she was in Fatal Attraction. Glenn Close, man. You seen Fatal Attraction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am on the absolute opposite end of Ken. I think everybody did a great job. And I don't even think Glenn Close did a bad job. I think the little boy was excellent, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the times where he was trying to do his demonic shit, I was like, no, I believe that little motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was great. Because I'm with Rod. Child actors, they don't always sell it. But I think he sold it.
Yeah, he was okay.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't know why they did this. It was not necessary. And I fucking hated every minute of it. I couldn't stand it. With her little I did not like it. And
what about when she came out with her hair like it, Mike?
Bro, nah. The thing about it is the real story. Her mom is regular black. Like I don't know why. There was no reason for him to add her mom being white. None.
No.
Except because he knew that people were gonna be like, "Yo, Glenn Close." But no, get her the fuck out of here with this shit. No.
Without knowing the context of that she didn't have to be white, what other white woman would you have to put in her place?
None.
But why? You see, you know the context though. You have context that the mom wasn't white though. What if the mom really was white? She was like biracial.
Before I had context of her not being white the entire time, because I'm with Ken on one thing. I didn't know that was Glenn Close. I thought it was a really fair-skinned black woman.
Really?
I thought it was like a Rashida Jones or some shit. I honestly, until about halfway through, and I was like, wait, not halfway through, that's an exaggeration, but after a while, I was like, wait a minute. I don't think she's black. And then I was like, she looks kind of, oh, that's Glenn Close. And then I was like, nope, get her out of here. Nope. I hated it. And it didn't help. Like, they only really used it to their advantage in like one or two scenes. Mm-hmm. The rest of the film, it didn't really mean anything. So, yeah. But back to the movie. We start to see that there are flies all over the house. And they seem to be coming from the basement. And we also see Andre drinking milk like a fucking psycho in his drawers, spilling it everywhere. Did y'all think something was wrong, or was the kid just bad, Spike?
I knew something was wrong then. He like standing there like Homelander in the milk thing, and then you get the different flies and stuff. So yeah, I knew something was wrong. Then it was a real creepy scene.
I was about to say that. They made that shit look
there, like,
scary.
that was creepy. Hell yeah. So yeah, that was a good job, I guess, because it's supposed to be a scary movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, her mom need to pop him in the mouth again for doing all that shit, bro. Like spilling all the milk everywhere. Like, hell nah, bro. Who gonna clean this shit up? Like, you done lost your goddamn mind. I told your ass you lactose intolerant, and you in here drinking all this damn milk. Hell nah. But it was definitely a creepy scene. But yeah, I was like, you gonna get your ass whooped again? Cause she popped
and your stomach gonna be
quick
hurt
too, bro.
Yeah, and your stomach gonna be hurt.
And your stomach gonna be hurting because you lactose intolerant.
Yeah, they made that look creepy. They did a really good job with that. Like, like to make something like that look that creepy, and then the music, the behind it, like, yeah, man, that was executed really well.
Are y'all used to the flies thing, or did y'all understand that?
I just correlated it with a dead body or something dead.
No, they say that when your house is being lived in by a demon, that horse flies are one of the first things that show up because of Beelzebub. Beelzebub was known as the Lord of the Flies. So that's why when you watch a lot of horror movies, if the house is being possessed or haunted, you'll see flies flying around. So I kind of knew. I was like, oh, okay, there's horse flies. The house is haunted. Yeah, I agreed though. I thought that was a really well done scene. Again, that leads to that child being a very good actor, because when he was drinking that milk and he was kind of just like looking and rolling his eyes, and then when he walked outside to look at that dead bird, I was like, oh, that motherfucker's something wrong with him. Something is wrong with him. But so yeah, what did you think about how Ebony? I'm gonna start with you, Rod. What did you think about how Ebony handled the Corner Boys that busted Stranger Things boy in the back of the head?
I thought it was fine. I mean, yeah, it can be embarrassing, but that was my mom. That was my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't touch my son. Don't touch my dog. Like, no, that was absolutely my mom. So I got it. I really like that depiction of a mom that's like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was all for it. I really liked it, for real. And the way she was talking to him. Fuck with somebody else. Don't fuck with mine.
Don't fuck with my son.
Tell your mom I'll walk that hoe too.
I'll whoop her ass.
I'll walk that hoe too. I like Andre in this. I like Andre.
She was great, man.
No.
She was great.
Yeah, I'm with Rod. I grew up around women like this. Like my aunts is like this. Like I grew up around mostly like I've seen her before. Yes. So I really enjoyed this scene.
And is this you? If somebody's fucking with Miles?
Oh, it's definitely my wife.
Oh, word! I didn't know that.
Yeah, it would definitely be her. You know, so but yeah, I'm with you. I've seen it, seen all that. I was very familiar, and I love what you like. Yeah, what you guys said. I'll rock her too. I was like, oh shit, okay, Andre. I'm like, all right, but yeah, all that's very familiar.
Oh man,
yeah, I really like this scene, and this was the kind of shit that I thought was intriguing about the movie. Even when she goes back and she's talking to her mom, and you know her mom was popping shit, and she was like, you know, I'd knock bitches' teeth out for less. And Glenn Close was saying, she said, "Well, then do it, bitch." I don't know why that shit was so funny. That shit killed, and that's when I realized I was like, "Oh no, she's white." And that's when look it up. Man, I was like, "That's Glenn Close." I don't like it. I don't like it.
Shit, but, it was sorry, bro. That shit was funny, man. Go ahead, bitch.
Well, then do it, bitch. Speaking of Alberta, were y'all surprised when they had that scene? She was over there looking like Charles Xavier.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, bro, what is going on? Is she already possessed by the demon? Like this?
I thought the same thing, kid. I didn't think it was cancer. I was like, this motherfucker, She a demon. Look at
It
her
already
hair.
got to her, bro. It already got
She got that demonic hair, Spike. I'm with you.
Man.
I'm with you. I did not think cancer. I said, she's why the horse flies in
she
here.
the
Y'all
demon,
better get the
exactly.
fuck away from this white woman.
Y'all
Facts.
stupid. No, I thought it was cancer. I didn't think she was already a demon.
I thought they had already, bro.
Nah, I didn't think they had her already. I knew she was going.
That's fucking funny, bro.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Rod, I'm gonna ask you this: were you buying Omar Epps hitting on her at the cancer place?
No, absolutely not. No.
Why not, Rod?
No, bro. Nah, you was not really hitting on this old white cancerous woman. No, I don't believe
that was disrespectful to Omar Epps. That was disrespectful to Omar Epps' legacy right there. His whole legacy came in question.
What Rod just said was disrespectful to everybody. This old cancerous woman. Oh my God.
Unless he's trying to cash in. He might be trying to run game and cash in, bro.
But they never said that. They never even alluded to that. It sounded like he was literally like, yo, you fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you can get it. Like, for real. Like, but I never bought. Nah, I did not buy that at all. Omar need to stop. He need to stop taking these type roles, bro.
I was legit. I'm with you, Rod. I was like, what has happened to Omar Epps? Why is he doing this? And no disrespect all the way to Glenn Close. I mean, I'm sure she's pretty for an old white lady, but come on, man. We really supposed to buy this? That she had her titties out? Come on now.
That's that push-up, bro.
Yeah,
well, I know Omar Epps is thinking, I've been with Tyra Banks in movies, bro. Y'all got me hitting on Omar. Y'all got me hitting on Glenn Close. Like, what is going on?
Come on, man.
I don't be ashamed of himself for putting him in that position.
Yeah, because I thought it was just, you know how nurses or whatever kind of flirt with the old people and stuff like that. So I thought it was one of those sort of things. I didn't know the shit was real. I was like,
he asked for her. He said something about meet me outside.
Yeah, I still thought he was joking.
I didn't think he was joking.
I was like, why are they doing Omar Epps like this?
Yeah,
this was so foul, bro. They didn't have to do him like that. They could have picked anybody for that.
They really could have.
It could have been Forrest Whitaker or anybody.
Oh shit! He could blame it on his eye being fucked up.
I was gonna say at least you gonna see half of her.
Oh man!
He said the left side was okay. I didn't see the right side.
I caught her with my good eye.
Right.
I'm sorry, Forrest. I love you. Okay, so this scene I thought was interesting. So Ebony is sleeping and she wakes up and she sees a man in her room. And no bullshit, until about 10 minutes before we started recording, I didn't realize who the man was. I thought the man was the kid's father. But she wakes up, she sees a man in her room, and she tries to catch him. And this leads to a really awkward interaction between her and Nate in the kitchen. Ken, what did you think of that?
I like the scene because, like you, when I first saw it, I thought it was the kid's father because they kept mentioning him. Right. I don't know if they said he was off at war.
He's at war, yeah.
No, Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so 2011. It's 2011, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I thought that was I thought that was good. And then her walking downstairs and then running into Nate because they had already established that she is a shitty mom, and Nate is over it. And we saw video of him in the movie texting with the parents and stuff like that, him and the kids or whatever. So, but I love the interaction between them two, and I thought Nate did a good job there, or the actor did a good job there of saying that he's just over the shit. He can't wait to leave. And so yeah, I thought it was good. And what I loved was that he was angry. He cussed her out, pushed her down, and immediately regretted his decision.
Yep.
And that shit felt so fucking real to me.
It did. I agree.
100%.
No, that was good too.
So y'all, okay, so let me ask y'all this. Did y'all connect who the guy was immediately?
Not until the end.
Not to the end, yeah. I mean, I don't see it's not wrong to assume that that's their father or whatever, because I mean, they that's the only man that they reference up until that point,
Even after the end, I just didn't think about it. I didn't think about it until I was looking at my notes, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's who that was."
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It was. I think it was a really dope move to do that early in the film, and then reveal who he was later because it was the same face. But yeah, I just didn't catch it. But I thought that was a really, really dope storytelling move. But okay, so after this, we meet Cynthia, who's played by Monique. Rod, what do you think about Cynthia?
I think she did.
Way, we have to point out that her and Lee Daniels had a pretty public falling out.
Mm-hmm.
This is her return to his movies. So
go ahead. I knew it was something between them. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. So yeah, I think we got just enough of her, because we don't want this to turn into a Monique movie, right? Because she could have easily. I thought she was going to come in and kind of steal the show, but she didn't. I think she did just enough, that she was supposed to do it. So I think that's very, very good direction to not let her take over this movie. And so yeah, I liked her position here in this movie. I think she did exactly what she was supposed to do.
I agree with Rod. Yeah, I agree with Rod. We saw her kind of later in the movie, so I was surprised that they waited this late to use her. But then I didn't want her to overpower the movie, as you were just saying, Rod. But she did just enough. I was kind of disappointed that she didn't believe her. Like I didn't like her demeanor towards the mom. Like I get that she was a bad mom and she had these things, but I felt like she was a little cold towards her, and I really wasn't expecting that.
What do you expect?
They gotta be cold like that though.
Yes.
Yep.
Was she just doing her job? Y'all saying?
Mm-hmm.
And plus, she was an abusive mother.
Yeah.
She had no reason to. And would you believe her?
She didn't.
Put yourself in her shoes.
Viewer, and if I'm in Monique's shoes, yes, I probably would have the same.
Yeah, you see bruises on arms.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And they talk about they don't remember why.
Yeah.
And especially when we find out what Monique's backstory or Cynthia's
exactly. That's what I was about to say.
I think it made complete sense, and it was great.
It did make sense. I just didn't like how she was acting. It was just a personal thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel you, but she did have like marks on her arm that she couldn't explain. This was after the kid fell down, so his shit was fucked up. And I liked her line when she said, "Well, you got Andre don't know how he got hurt at a playground or something." She said, but it was the way she delivered it. That shit was funny.
Oh, she was like,
"You remember?" That was the line. She said, "Do you remember what happened to them?"
Yeah. And I love when she was leaving. When she said, "Fuck you and your cockeyed ass."
She still had the comedic element. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like it was serious.
That seemed like it was ad-lib.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. I think the playground line was ad-lib. And I think that was ad-lib. Because I'm like, why does she hate Glenn Close like that?
Because Glenn Close was mugging her when she came in. Because she didn't tell the social worker that they were moving. So Cynthia was mad when she showed up. And Glenn Close's character, wasn't Alberta, remember she was mugging her when Cynthia came in the door.
I thought it felt like they had a previous relationship and they just didn't like each other.
Yeah. Well, you would assume it's because she's a social worker that is threatening to take away the kids.
And Alberta was a shitty mom too, so she's probably had to deal with social workers before.
Exactly. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the next scene, Shantae's birthday party. Shantae's the daughter. Dre is found in the basement talking to a kid named Trey. Was Spike's already shaking his head. Was this part interesting to you at all?
No, it was. Like this is the point where your interest is peaking. You're like, okay, what in the shit is going on? Like, give us more information as to what's going on with this little crazy ass little boy. And so, yeah, I was definitely intrigued here.
And he was talking to him outside before then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He was talking to him when he was on the swing when the guy came and got I almost brought this up, but I didn't want anybody to get upset. But like, I thought that was actually a good scene, but I took it out of my notes when the guy came and took the dead cat out from the basement. Mm-hmm. And what Ebony said, I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was trying to hurt him.
I mean,
she was trying to hurt him.
That's real though.
That's some real shit that they would say.
Yeah.
Especially in 2011.
Huh?
Yeah.
Especially in 2011.
Yeah.
Right.
But I liked it. I like how the kids kind of sort of checked the mom. Was like, yo, damn, mom, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But if I'm like, I wouldn't have paid the shit, honestly. I was like, put the shit back. Hey, Nate, you better take your black ass down there and get that shit out there. That's what I would have did.
100%. I'm not paying you $60.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fucking kids go on there and triple team this and get this out of here. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah, but regarding the basement scene, just more creeping moments because he was banging his head against the door, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my god, like, I didn't. For me, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. I thought it was gonna be more of a more suspense than like kind of horror, like you know what I'm saying, like almost like more mystery than actually like horrific moments. So I was really surprised as to what I was seeing. Because at first I had it on and I had Dom in the area. He wasn't watching it, but he was in the area. I started watching it on my phone because it was just like, I felt like it was a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want, like I said, I thought it was just going to be like a thriller type of situation. I didn't know it was going to be like kind of scary. And it involved kids, so I didn't want him seeing all that. So yeah, it was a lot.
What did y'all think of Saucy Santana when he was like, Ebony, what's wrong with your kids?
That was Saucy Santana. I had to look it up though. But
Wait,
no, that was hold on, I could tell you. But it wasn't Saucy.
I thought it was him. I thought
it was somebody.
No, he looked different.
Oops.
Yeah, but I
that wasn't Saucy.
No.
But I like Asia though. Asia was funny.
Asia was funny as hell. I want a whole movie of Asia.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. Because Miss Lawrence. That's who that was.
Miss Lawrence?
I've never heard of Miss Lawrence, but my wife was familiar with Miss Lawrence. Because when I asked her, but yeah, that brief small appearance when Asia was on screen was great. What the fuck wrong with your kids line when they were cussing each other out?
That's such a black thing to say. That is so black, right? They're like, what the fuck wrong with your kids?
It is so funny. Yeah. Only a black director can pick up on little notes.
Yes. Fact. Yeah.
That
is fact.
I knew he was somebody like, I knew he had to be somebody important or famous. I guess it's kind of fucked up that I thought it was Saucy. I've only seen like a few things of Saucy. I could have sworn that was him.
I thought it was too. That's why I had to look to make sure that it wasn't Saucy.
Oh.
He got a Wendy's commercial.
Who, Saucy or this person?
Saucy. For their new saucy wings.
Oh, make you want to get the boneless?
That's what he said. The crazy thing is, that's what they are. It's for boneless saucy.
For the boneless sauce. I didn't even think about that until you just said that. Until he just said that. I hate he put that in my head.
That's what Spike said.
Paul's Wendy's all together.
Good for Saucy, man. Good for Saucy.
Nice job,
Make your money, Saucy. Make your money, boy. All right, so
Miss Lawrence did a good job, though. I agree with y'all. The performance was on. Everybody's little performances were just right. That's what I really liked about this for the most part.
Wait, let me go back. Wait, is Miss Lawrence? Does that person identify as female?
That's when you were saying it. I don't know.
That's just the name.
I didn't know either. So I was referring to them as him and boy. I didn't know. I thought so when you just said she. So just so nobody's offended, I literally thought that was Saucy Santana. Now that I'm finding out it's another person named Miss Lawrence, I didn't know. I don't know what that person identifies as. So Reddit, calm down. It was not intentional.
I found an interview where Miss Lawrence says, I am a 41-year-old black, gay, gender non-conforming individual that grew up in South Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. So they would be more okay.
Right. They were on like Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, back in Yeah, from 2008 to 2017. Now I'm remembering the face because I never saw them with a wig because they would always be bald headed.
Okay. Okay. Well, now I know, and I know it's not Saucy. So apologies to Saucy and Miss Lawrence. But Miss Lawrence, you killed that scene. That shit was funny as hell. I literally rounded back when they said, what's wrong with you? It was the most perfectly delivered line.
Right.
It was subtle. It didn't have to go nowhere. That was it. What the hell was them kids? Both of them throw. I was in literal tears. But yes, we're gonna move on. Do you think Ebony really did flip out in that scene when they were in the room and attack the kids, or was that the ghost? Ken?
I think that was her. I like that we didn't see what really went down. I thought they were going to reveal it, but having some confusion as to what she actually really did. I did like that because really at this moment she was the scariest thing in the house. So, so it continued to play on that, and all three of the kids were terrified. And it also kind of went back to the scene earlier where when Alberta comes in and she was asking them like what happened, and they're lying about what happened. So you're like, are they telling the truth? Like, what's really going on? Like, what really happened in this room? So I like that scene.
Spike, what'd you think?
No, I think that was a good scene. I didn't think that she did it, but the way that they didn't speak up and say anything kind of led me to believe that she did. But then I was wondering, okay, is it something that possessed not just a little boy, but everybody in the house? So I was kind of wondering what the monster thing was it was supposed to be looking out for at that point, but I wasn't sure if she did it or not. Threw them against the wall.
Rob?
I like the fact that we don't know, right? I like the fact that they were able to see, like, damn, did she do it? Or was this part of the whole, like, and it makes you question, well, me, I don't know about y'all, but I was like, okay, is this really all in her head? Is it, you know what I'm saying? It just made you question, okay, what is really going on here? Like, what kind of story is this? This is an abusive mother, and then you have the background of how her mother was and stuff like that. So she's not necessarily denying being, abusive to her kids. So I thought it was a really good element to place in this movie along with demons, right? Like it's kind of brilliant actually, because it really makes you guess, like it has you on your toe, like, damn, is she being this good? Like we already saw her beating her mom. We already know her mom does. Is this really a demon or is this the mom? So I really like that element.
So it's interesting you say this. So when you look up the actual real story of Miss Ammons, the landlord came out later on and said that she was behind on her rent bad. So the controversy here is people don't know if she was making the entire thing up just to get out of paying rent.
Right.
That is actually my issue with the film. I think the film would have worked so much better if they inserted that element. If we had more moments of shit, was Ebony doing this? Or is there actually a ghost in this house? Are the kids just traumatized because Ebony is beating the shit out of them at the house? Or is there an actual demon? When you said that was a brilliant thing, I agree. If they did that throughout this film, I think it would have been worlds better. But yeah, the original story of LaToya Ammons is very interesting because all of them were possessed. It was mostly attracted to the mother in the real story. So there were all of these things happening, but when it came out, people were like, she's fucking lying. Of course her house wasn't possessed. This is stupid. But when the landlord came out, it added so much more to the story. So yes, I like that scene, but I do feel like they would have been better off if they added more of that.
I wonder, like, too, like, I know they were saying, like, the demon only preyed on the weak or whatever. And I guess in the beginning, her mom comes off really strong, I guess, until she drinks. So now her defenses are down, and maybe that's when the demon is able to kind of possess her in those moments.
Maybe, but even still, I was a bit confused about how the demon was working, because the demon seemed to be mostly attracted to Andre.
Yeah.
But then why did the demon possess Nate and try to get Nate to kill Andre? Like, that shit didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that didn't make come on the tub, right?
Yeah, in the tub.
That was really confusing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't really like. I'm still confused about that. I was like, wait, what? Why? That doesn't why? But
oh wait, it's okay. I thought it was multiple. I thought it's the one, and then it brings on like 3 others or something like that. I thought that's what she said. I thought the evangelist said it's the one, and it has like helpers almost.
I mean, Trey was the one talking to Andre.
Yes,
I may have missed the evangelist saying that. I don't remember that, but
I think it has others like supporting demons. If I'm not
then why
mistaken,
was there only one that she fought at the end?
Because that's the main one. That's like the link to the other ones, and that's why you had the other ones kind of in the other children, because they still had demons inside of them when they were in their respective places.
Mm-hmm. And that didn't make any sense to me either.
So what I'm saying, once you kill the main one, I'm assuming it killed the other ones remaining. Is what I gathered.
I don't remember her saying that, but in the real story, they said that there were 200 demons in the house. There was never a one demon that was doing X, Y, and Z. So that was another.
I think it's the one, the main one, and I could have swore she said it was other ones that are connected to the main one.
Okay, well,
almost like, yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I was saying almost just. No, I was gonna say almost like apostles or whatever. Like but whatever the demons are, like they are supporters of this one main demon.
Okay,
but I'll have to go back and watch that part. But I could have swore she said that though.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I can pull it up now. Actually.
Well, while you're doing that, Ken, was Ebony right to flip out on that nurse the way she did?
Wait. Which? Oh.
When she took the kids in because
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I skipped a part. Pause on that. Let me ask you this instead. So at school, the kids start acting crazy. Nate starts laughing at the teacher while the teacher's talking about her brother dying of AIDS. Shantae has her period in front of the class. And my favorite part of the whole movie, Dre takes a shit in the middle of the class and
she was like,
yeah, he threw shit at the teacher and it went in her mouth.
Oh man.
Ken, what did you think when that teacher got doo in her mouth?
Oh man, first of all, I was like, "That's what your ass get," because you see this kid taking this shit, and you probably saw him grab that shit with his damn hand. But apparently, they say he was eating the shit, so she probably didn't think anything of it. Yeah. But at the end, man, bro, if you see a kid taking the shit, and the thing is, she's just sitting there fussing at him. Man. And not trying to go get help or call for get help or anything. She just yelling at the kid, like, you better stop this, that, and the other. So she kind of got what she deserved, but that shit was crazy. I couldn't help but think about how monkeys throw shit. Mm-hmm. So my thing was, if you know monkeys throw shit and this is a black kid, you should have got your ass out the goddamn way. Should have known that shit was coming at some point.
Oh God.
No, I'm going to Rod. We're not talking to him. Rod's still looking at his thing. Spike, what did you think when that little boy threw shit in that teacher's mouth?
What am I watching? What is going on? Like, what is Lee Daniels doing, bro? I didn't know this is what I signed up for. But yeah, it worked. Again, like it worked for the theme and the tone of the movie. And I ain't gonna get to that yet. You'll do that on the next scene. But it worked. It worked.
Did you feel like he was shitting on you in that scene?
Oh Lord.
I had to turn my head like him shit.
But I'm with Spike. I was like, I'm with Spike, and I was like, man, what is Lee Daniels doing? I don't know what he's doing, but I love it. I love it.
What would you do if you got a note sent home that Tom threw some doo-doo at a teacher in their mouth? I don't know why that shit was up. I was in fucking tears.
Oh, man.
I was crying laughing. I was like, what in the fuck is happening? I'm with y'all. What? I don't watch Lee Daniels movies, so I don't know if this is a norm for him. But I was like, this motherfucker's out his mind.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
I did not know he had this in him, bro. I did not know he had this in him.
That's perfectly put. That's perfectly put, Rod. That's what I was thinking, Mike. I was like, I ain't know Lee Daniels. I ain't know he had a bag like this. I was unfamiliar with your game, sir. It's unfamiliar.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Ken. So this is the question I asked you earlier: was Ebony right for snapping on that nurse the way she did?
She was, until the nurse asked her that damn question. I was like, you should have shut your ass up. Because but I felt her pain, because when I was watching that scene, it was very, very clear that the white woman kept looking at Alberta. Yep. So I love like the underlying messages that were presented to us during that scene, where these black kids are in trouble. They're being harmed. They're going through psychological issues. She's clearly saying that something's wrong with the kids, and they're saying nothing is wrong with the kids. So they're not listening to the black woman, but are more willing to listen to the white woman if the white woman says something. So, and then also, we know all the stigmas that come with black people and the health, health medical. Yeah. So I love that they did that. And I felt she was doing the right thing, fighting for her kids, et cetera, and calling that out. But as soon as she said it, and then when the nurse flipped it, I was like, shit, because she almost forgot. Like, her primary concern are her kids. So she forgot that she was also hurting the kids as well, before they got to this stage. Yep. And everything that took place could be the direct results of the shit that she was doing in the house.
Yep.
And not demons. So it was a dope scene.
I agree with Ken. I think it was a really, really good scene, especially you hear black women say all the time, and rightfully so, that like in the medical field, they're probably the most discriminated against as far as their pain and how doctors like listen to them and don't listen to them. So I think that was very well done, especially with her addressing her mom afterwards. And like you essentially told her and over talked me, and these are my kids. But I really like the line when she was like, my kid just tried to eat shit today, and you trying to tell me that nothing's wrong with it? Like, nah, like y'all need to figure this shit out, because I would feel the same way. Like, you're not gonna just turn me around here and be like, oh, there's nothing wrong, we can't tell. So I thought that was really well done.
Nah.
You agree with that, Rod?
Nah, yeah, they killed it. Yeah. Nah.
So this was another scene that irked me, because it was an excellent scene. But again, just like we were talking about earlier, and what Rod alluded to, is the whole idea of, is this happening, or is this a cause of Ebony? And it was another missed opportunity, because this was another moment where you could have driven that home and made the audience kind of be like, well, shit, what is actually happening at this house? Is Ebony making these kids act crazy? Especially with the whole idea of the little girl and her period. I feel like that was a huge missed opportunity, because it didn't really seem that crazy that a little girl would have her period in class and go up to the front and tell the what do you call it? I forget what
band director, whatever
band
the
director
teacher was. Yeah.
Thank you, the band director. But they made it to where she kind of whispered something in his ear. He bugged out, saw her having the period, and then made everybody leave. But I was like, if that happened in class, they wouldn't make all the kids leave. They would just be like, oh shit, hey, go to the nurse. But they could have added something to this to make us be like, okay, well, is she just doing this because she's afraid she's gonna get in trouble for having her period and ruining her clothes? Like, I feel like this was another missed opportunity. But I did really like this the scene with the nurse. I was like, wow, she keeps looking at Alberta, which makes sense with racist ass medical professionals. They're not going to listen to this black woman because, one, the black woman's cursing. She's loud. They're not going to take into effect that, oh, well, she's bugging out because her kids are in trouble. They're just going to be like, oh, well, this is just how they are. So I'm going to talk to the white woman. I think that scene was excellent. But so we already talked about Nate trying to drown Dre. But before that, we see Alberta. She's trying to hang up a cross in the house, and she starts talking to Ebony about the benefits of Christianity. And that's before Nate is trying to kill poor little Dre. But this is when Ebony meets Bernice coming out of a bar. And Bernice tells Ebony the story of the previous family from the house. Spike, what did you think about Bernice in that story?
Now it's starting to make sense. Like they're giving us the context that we need in order to, as a viewer of the story, okay, where is this about to go? We know about the demon thing now. I thought she did a good job of selling it too. And I also thought the response was also like, man, you sound crazy. They're like, this is the real world and those things don't happen. So very well done by both of them.
All right. Ken, what'd you think of Bernice in that story?
I liked it. I liked that we were finally about to get into the crux of the film. We're going to deal with the demons. They did, they've been alluding to this being in the house, playing around with it. And for me, I felt like it was starting to stretch out a little too long. And I'm glad they finally brought her on scene and explained everything and kind of got us going to the second part of the film.
Okay. Rod?
Yeah, I like this part too. You talking about when Bernice came into the situation, the fold?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made it more interesting, and it started kind of because I think when she came into the fold, they had Glenn Close, what's her character? The mom, Alberta. Yeah, like those were playing side by side. So then that's when you saw the demon actually take form and go after Alberta. So I did like how these things were going on simultaneously in this moment or whatnot. I thought this added more meat to what was going on, more clarity as to what was going on. It's like, okay, this is what we're dealing with. We actually are dealing with supernatural things. So questions are starting to be answered at this point. We also see it's actually three things going on. You see the family too in this moment. The family that was in the house before when she chopped off her husband's head and shit.
Yep.
I was like, bro, like he's really going there. Killing the girl, killing her daughter, like picked the head up. Like I was like, he is really going there, bro. So yeah, at this moment, I felt like this was a really pivotal moment of the movie. Like, oh yeah, we really getting into the shit now. And I did see a scene too, Mike, that they're saying that it's Lucifer. He was cast out of heaven and he brought a third of his angels with him, which turned into demons. So I guess it's to assume that those demons were kind of helping in the moment in the follow, because that was technically Lucifer or whatever. So I don't know. Like, so yeah, I don't know.
In some places they consider Beelzebub and Lucifer to be different, but it would make sense if there were more than one demon. And I'm hoping I'm hoping you're right, and I just missed that because that part really didn't make sense to me. But
the one demon wanted her son. He wanted the son, but I think yeah.
But if the other demons were helpers, why would they be trying to kill the son that the main demon wanted? It still doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Yeah, it still doesn't make sense. I have to go back and see that. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. I was confused in that moment as well.
So none of y'all took what I took from this scene. I agree with y'all. It was an excellent scene. I agree with Rod that yes, Lee Daniels was fucking going there, chopping the husband's head off. I was like, you're not fucking around. Okay, cool. I like it.
Right.
But what I was perplexed by, I was like, why are you listening to Bernice? She just told you a story where she fucking failed badly. Everyone is dead. Yeah. You don't need this woman's help. When she got up to leave and was like, fuck this, I was like, thank you, because Bernice sounds like a fuck up. But
she did.
Where y'all and simultaneously, one of y'all just mentioned simultaneously, we're seeing Alberta getting attacked in the house, and she gets killed by this little Niglet ghost. Mike, were you sad to see Alberta go?
She went out like a gangster, Mike. No, I wasn't sad to see her go. I figured they had to do this at some point just to make the stakes even more real. Like, we got the injuries, we've seen the ghosts, we've told the story. Now this is turning it all the way up to the okay, this thing is dangerous and we should be scared. And Glenn Close, I felt like, was the most expendable.
Okay,
and that would have still been impactful.
Ken, were you cool with this scene, or were you sad that Alberta got?
I was. It was too soon for Alberta, bro. I had to pour out a little liquor, bro, because she was at this point still, for me, in the first half of the film, the most because I really just wanted to know her story. Everything else was good, but I really wanted to know, like, what in the hell? How did this situation happen? And they told us. I think they did a good job with her walking out of the hospital, really explaining why the hell she around these black folks. She's just one of those white people that just around black folks. So they did it in a real quick way. That they were like, oh, okay. For somebody like me, when I was watching, I was like, I don't understand how she's here. Like, what the fuck is going on? She actually really had these kids. And, that's when she was like, you just like to be around niggas when it's convenient. So I thought that was really, really dope. But also, she had also had her get back against Monique's character, Cynthia.
Oh, with the bat.
When Cynthia came back to the house and she had that bat and she chased her ass out that damn house.
She was like, a bat? Really? A bat? She got her ass, though.
She got her ass about that house. Yes. So yeah, Alberta was a rider, bro. And then there was another part when she grabbed her hand about something. She was like, oh yeah, I remember that. So I thought that was dope too. But yeah, it was sad to see her go, but I agree with Spike. Like, you have to raise the stakes. Somebody have to get Guy, and she was the most expendable one to do it. The only thing that went through my head was like, man, she spent all this time talking about faith, talking about God, talking about how He's gonna save you, and He was nowhere to be found.
Nowhere.
He just let your ass go.
God damn.
Yeah, I took that as, and I want to circle back to that point you just made, but no, yeah, I was kind of like you, Ken. I wasn't ready to see her go yet. I wanted to see a little bit more of her, but this was a good move directing wise, in my opinion. And I think what it was trying to say in that moment, because she picked up the Bible and it still didn't do anything. I think that she was still one of those people that was kind of teetering on faith or whatever. Like, she kept saying, you know how you have those Christians like, oh yeah, I'm saved and da 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 da, and you keep, them be the ones, and then they heart don't really be in it like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Andra was always trying to tell her, like, this is just another fix for you. It's just another fix for you. And I think in that moment, that's what that showed. That was what it was supposed to show, in a sense. Like, because you're still doing the same, you're still up to the same shit. Fucking around on dudes, showing your titties. You know what I'm saying? Like you still on that shit. So I think that's probably why the demon was actually able to get her ass.
I'm gonna circle back to that point later, because I had the same opinion that Ken had. Because I was like, you've been talking all this Christian shit, and that fucking demon killed your ass. So what the fuck? But I never took it as she was kind of on the fence, and that's why the demon got her. But we'll circle back to that later. But were they right to take the kids away after what happened in the car, Spike?
Yes, absolutely.
Damn.
Like, they seem like, especially with all the previous stuff that been happening. It's like, if the car maybe had been a one-off, and he's like, okay, that was weird. But with everything else, the bruises and being checked in and stuff that happened at school, like, at some point, the hammer got to come down. You be like, okay, look, lady, like, I don't know what's going on at the crib or if you doing this, but there has to be some repercussions.
Until we can figure it out, taking
these kids coming with us.
Because it's about the safety of the kids, right? I mean, and those situations don't always end up healthy for the kids, obviously, but, that's just the law,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with y'all. They were definitely right to take the kids away. That shit was crazy. She ran into a room full of white people and said, hey, someone's trying to kill my kids in the car, and fucking Daryl and Cletus go out there and like, bro, what? What are you talking about? You sound nuts.
Her response was interesting though, because like, what would you do if you look in the rear view and your son does that? Like that would. I don't know what I would do.
I'm not pulling into a bar and running.
I'm definitely not pulling into a bar and asking
those
white people for help. You're right.
I'm not doing that. I mean, but she was at her wit's end and she didn't know what to do. But I was still just like, that's a weird reaction. You almost got hit and you pull over in the rain into the parking lot of a bar. And by the way, this didn't happen according to the actual story, but yeah. But speaking of, okay, Ken, what did you think when Andre finally started showing his demonic side to Monique and the motherfucker turned into Miles Morales and climbed up the wall?
Loved it, bro. I had to rewind that one back because we, me and my wife sitting here watching it. Because she had heard mixed things about it. She heard it was good. She heard it was bad, from a couple of different people. So I was like, oh, well, I'm about to watch it. So let's watch it. So, we were definitely enjoying talking to the TV and stuff. And this was one of those moments when this motherfucker popped out and then pop locked and climbed up that goddamn wall. Bruh. I give Cynthia a lot of props because she did not run. But she is better than me, bro. Because no, but this was good because we in here yelling, screaming like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And Miles coming out of the bedroom was like, "Wow, what happened? What happened?" So we rewound the heat and showed it to him, stuff like that. And then his ass gonna get to the back of the wall and pretend like he. I said, "Boy, if you climb with that goddamn wall, toss your ass outside." But this was dope. I really liked how he presented that and the kid walking up the wall and stuff like that. And I love Monique's reaction when she was talking to the doctor.
You didn't see it. I just saw this motherfucker take off his restraints and fall up the wall.
What button I'm supposed to push for that?
What button I'm supposed to push for that?
Oh, that was good. I wouldn't even been in there to see him crawl up the wall once he busted out the restraints. I would have been out.
Straight up.
Like I don't even need to see no more, bro. Like I'm gone.
You showed me enough, Satan. I'm out. Fuck
right.
this. Fuck you and this little boy.
Shit happened so fast though. It was like restraints, pop up, show niggas.
Step 1, 2, 3. Restraints, pop up.
Good point, Rod.
Yo, it happened so fast, dog.
But okay, so here I'm a fuck with y'all's head. So this is from the original story. So they said that in the hospital, the youngest kid did this. He climbed up the wall, and she claimed there were numerous nurses that saw it and ran out the room and was like, "Fuck this, we're done."
Rightfully so. Now
they couldn't corroborate this story, but if you remember when the other guy comes back in and he's talking to the nurses and he says, "Where is Andre's room?" And the nurse was like, "I'm not going back in there."
Right.
They took that from the actual original story, but they fucked up in the movie by not showing that there were actually nurses in there. Okay. But I liked this scene. I thought it was hilarious. And once again, I thought my boy, the little man, he did a great job.
He sold the shit out of that.
So this is the final act of the movie. It's almost over at this point. This is when Ebony, after talking to Bernice, she breaks Andre out of the hospital and they go back to the house. Now, again, this is why I thought there was one demon, because she specifically goes and gets Andre. She doesn't try to go get Nate. She doesn't try to go get Shantae. She just gets Andre. They go back to the house. Now, I'm going to start with Spike because I'm really curious to understand what you thought of this, because you have that Gucci Kufi that I thought was really fresh. I want to know, one, what did you think about the exorcism that Bernice did? And two, did you like that swap meet Louis Vuitton breakdancer suit that she had on?
It wasn't an exorcism.
It was a deliverance.
The jumpsuit wasn't bad, Mike. I do like that. I did like that. I don't know. She never felt like that she had enough power in her deliverance to get them demons up out of there. Like it just seemed like she wasn't gonna be enough. I knew as watching this as a viewer, it's like, nah, it's gonna have to be something else. This little black lady with the Bible ain't gonna cut it, bro. Like they're gonna need something a lot stronger than that. I'm not sure if we got that. I'm sure we'll talk about it at the end, but no, it didn't work. She never seemed like she was a formidable foe for this demon.
Okay. Rod, do you agree with that?
So it was something that happened before this that I just was like, I don't know how I'm feeling this. When she was like, we got to strengthen you. And they were like praying together and stuff. Like, I didn't really like that. But I feel like that could have been executed a little better. It just seemed this part seems to happen pretty fast for me.
Okay.
That was my gripe. It just seemed a little too quick. Like, all of a sudden she's this believer in God and like, she got her faith back. That seemed a little quick for me.
Okay.
But now to that scene with Bernice, she was talking big shit. She was talking cash shit at first. But yeah, nah, that demon was just like, nope, I'm gonna laugh at your ass again. Because that's what she was saying the first time. She was like, I walked in and he laughed at me. He laughed at me. He laughed at her ass again. He laughed at her ass again. Yep.
Ken?
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier, Mike. She wasn't really good at this job, and now we saw it had real life implications for her. And but the mom was desperate, so she had to call the one person that she knew believed her to try to help save her kids. At this point, she just wasn't good at it, and she got got. Now I did love all the shit talking Andre was saying because he was talking cash shit, bro.
I smell your nappy pussy.
I died.
I was on the ground. I smell your nappy pussy.
Credit has to go to Glenn Close there.
Bruh.
They had Glenn Close. Bruh.
If she don't get an Academy Award,
she deserves something. An NAACP award or something like that. She got to get that from this.
You little half-breed whore. I should have flushed you down the toilet when you were a blood clot. That needs to be an award. I agree with Spike.
I was thinking, who wrote that? Like, who in the fuck wrote that, bro? That was crazy to say.
I smell your little nasty pussy.
I was like, who's talking right now? I thought that was someone coming from. I was like, who's saying this? I don't know who just possessed God just now. That was crazy.
Damn, you sounded just like her too, Rod.
You sounded just like her.
That's like, man, I was like, yo, Lee Daniels is nuts.
Bro.
Lee Daniels is nuts, but he don't care. He don't care what y'all gonna say after this movie. He's going all the way in.
So this is actually
Glenn Close did too.
Oh, my bad.
I wonder if Glenn Close laughed at that part.
She was probably so uncomfortable. She was probably so
She had to laugh at that, bro.
Yeah.
But
that was good.
The movie absolutely fell apart. I liked it up until this last act, and I was like, this is stupid. Now, this is where he entered very, very typical exorcism territory. And I just didn't think I don't think it worked. I think everything else worked out great. But this part seemed like somebody else wrote it, and I did not like it. But Andre turns back into himself. He tosses Bernice around the room, kills her, which I still don't know how the fuck she just died. Didn't make any goddamn sense. He didn't do anything to her that bad. But Ebony has to go into the basement and fight off the demon by herself. As a whole, for this whole scene of Ebony going in the basement and fighting off the demon, Ken, did you like this?
No, not at all. And this is when my decision on the movie was rendered. This final act, and definitely this part, even halfway through it, especially when Bernice came on scene, I was like, oh shit, this is a propaganda movie. And I was like, all right, but it's cool. It's demons, and it's demons. Like, you gotta have God in it, right? So like, all right, fine, cool, whatever. I'm gonna just go with the flow until this part where she died and came back, and like it was way over the top. I felt like they were really selling like Jesus, that guy had an idea and he put it in Lee Daniels. He was like, this is a recruitment film. And here is how we're going to get these people to come on board and sign up. What I wanted to ask you, Mike, and I'm glad I'm talking about this now because I always remember it, and I know you would know this. Has there been a moment in a movie where a demon possessed the person that was fighting it the way that this one did? I forgot her name, Andre, because she had her contorting and twisting up like the demon and bending backwards and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, The Exorcist. I mean, that's how
he did that to the priest.
Mm-hmm. That's how he killed himself. Remember, he asked the demon that was possessing Reagan. He told the demon to go into him. The demon jumped into him, and then he jumped out the window and killed himself.
But I ain't never seen one physically do the same physical alterations to their body. The way she was bending over backwards and stuff like that. Like, I know he called it in, but the demon was still in Andre at this moment. And it was making her do all the stuff that normally the possessed do.
See, this is the part that wasn't making any fucking sense to me. But it would make sense if Rod is right and this is another demon. But if this is another demon, I'm just like, I don't understand what the demon's motivations are then. Because it's just like, what is your point? Yeah, why are you one demon that's supposed to be the boss having to fight with the sub-demons? It just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I was confused because I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a person fighting a demon get physically bend their body like they're possessed by the demon. And I was definitely confused about other kids too. But either way it go, yeah, this was the part where I was like, all right, I was riding right along with it. And right along here, I was like, nah, I'm out. I'm good. I appreciate everything that's going here. I definitely want to see Black horror movies. We've been talking about that for years on this program, and I'm with it. But yeah, the movie just fell apart for me right here. And that's when it lost me.
Spike?
Same. I had a really hard time believing that this was the conclusion. Like, I didn't hate the movie, but I hated the ending. Like, the ending, and like Ken was saying, the propaganda, and all I got to sing was the Negro spiritual for the demon to go away. Like, nah, I'm good. Like, nah, that don't work.
So I'm with y'all. Well, obviously I already said it, but yes, I'm definitely with y'all. I thought this shit was really bad. And the thing that didn't make sense to me was in relation to what Rob was saying earlier about Alberta was kind of teetering. So I want to get your opinion on this, Rod. When I was watching this, I was like, wait a minute. So you weren't even Christian before. Now all of a sudden you're super Christian to the point of you died. You saw your mama in the afterlife. Your mama said, hey, depend on Jesus, whatever the fuck she said. She comes back to life after having all of her bones broken. Jesus healed her bones. She came back to life and starts speaking in tongues like she's in a fucking Southern black church, and the demon is defeated. So my question, Rod, if the demon was able to kill Alberta because Alberta was teetering on her faith or whatever, then how come Ebony was able to defeat the demon when she just became Christian 10 minutes ago?
Because Bernice was telling her, remember, no fear, don't have any fear. And I think she held on to that, about that whole fear and whatnot. And then, like I said, the part that bothered me earlier on when they had the moment of like, okay, you're saved again. I think we're supposed to connect all of that her faith at that moment was very, very strong. And she didn't have any fears. Like, I'm protected, I'm protected by God, all of these things she was saying. Her mom wasn't saying stuff all like that. All her mom was saying, like, yo, he saved me. He saved me. And that sounds like old black people that I've heard before, but still be out here cussing out kids and doing all these other things or whatnot. She sounded like more like those people. She sounded like somebody that was genuinely accepting of God and having no fear, things like that. And I think that's probably what made her stronger.
She looked like she had fear when that demon was making her slam her face into the damn ground. She looked like she was fearful.
Look, I'm with y'all. Like this is where it kind of fell apart for me as well. And this is why I said I was on the fence. It's because of the end is why I was on the fence. But it wasn't enough to make me think to say that this was bad. Like I still enjoyed the movie.
Gotcha.
I just felt like this last part could have been executed a lot better. I just feel like it was rushed. I feel like they did a lot of story building to just like be real lax on this end part or whatnot. They should have put a little bit more thought into this end part because it was confusing. There was some stuff that was really confusing.
Well, kind of show because I know we're wrapping up, but the other issue is that like not once did we see Andra Day try to connect with her faith.
Exactly.
She had been a piece of shit the whole damn movie.
Exactly.
So it took Del to be like, oh shit, this shit is real. Never mind.
Well, I don't agree that she was a piece of shit. I think she was just dealing with shit the best way she could.
Right.
And then like it caused her to drink and things like that. So that's why, she was telling the truth to the social worker. No, she going through shit. She got a lot of shit she going through. So I don't think she was a piece of shit. It just was depicted that way. That's why I said the brilliance of the movie. You don't really know, is she actually a piece of shit? Or is she really a mother that's really trying to do right by her children, like fighting for a child, getting her daughter the cell phone, like really loving on the baby boy. Like we saw those moments.
We also saw her beating her kids regularly.
No, I don't remember seeing that. I remember she popped them and then she was very
she beat Nate up when he pushed her. And the movie makes it very clear that she's abusive. She said that she's abusive. That's why Cynthia was there.
Yeah, I understand. Like, I mean, I already know about the drunk. It's when she drinks. The whole drunk, I already know about the drunk abusive parent. I dealt with that as a kid. But like, so yeah, I don't know.
But
I mean, we can have a reason for why she's a piece of shit.
Exactly.
Because of everything that's going on. But, she's still pretty terrible. She just had good moments.
Yeah. Because when she popped Dre in the mouth and Alberta looks at her, she specifically says, "Don't look at me like that. I haven't had a drink in a week, or I haven't had any in a week." So she was stone cold sober when she pimp slapped Dre. So I agree with Ken. She is an absolute piece of shit, but I agree with Rod that there's just a reason for it. There's a reason why you're like, just because you went through abuse when you were younger doesn't give you an excuse to abuse your children. It just gives you a reason. She was abusive because she was abused by her mother, and she was also raped by this man that her mother let rape her. And those were the moments that I thought the film excelled. And I think it should have leaned more into that to give us this like, okay, well, was she doing this because she was abused or what? But yeah, the film absolutely fell apart at the end. Ebony sends the demon back to hell and says some shit like, "Go back where you came from," which I was like, oof, what? No. But she makes up with Cynthia. She gets her kids back, and then she lives happily ever after. So as a whole, I will say that I think Lee Daniels did a pretty good job with this movie. I think that he just had a problem closing it out. I think that he created a very compelling story, because usually with possession films, I don't give a fuck about the family at all. I don't care. I just want the demon fuck people up. This is one of the few times where I was like, I care about this family. I'm interested about what's happening. And the brilliance of what Lee Daniels did was he created a sympathetic character with Ebony. You have Ken and Rod having a discussion about whether or not she's a piece of shit and to what degree, because Lee Daniels did such a good job with presenting this woman as being flawed, being evil, being abusive, but also being sympathetic, being loving. It was such a great way to instill emotion into a movie like this. So I think he did a great job with that. Whoever wrote the ending, they need to be fired, because the ending was trash. But overall, Spike, what are your final thoughts on this one?
That was very well put by you, in the sense of, the pull that you have between liking this lady and really hating her guts. And Lee Daniels did a tremendous job, as you guys have stated, in the sense of building that in. And I feel like it was because she was black too. Like, I feel like there was a lot of black things in there for us as black people to look at and be like, oh, I get that. I've seen that before. There is that real fine line. So I think he did a really good job in playing into the blackness of it. I'm here for the black horror. I'm here for seeing different things from black people on screen. I didn't hate it. I hated the ending, but I didn't hate the movie overall. There was some good performances in it. I would recommend it to someone.
Okay, Ken.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I think people will watch it. No, I won't recommend this to anybody to watch, bro.
I would.
No.
I would too.
I would. Like, y'all gotta watch this movie, bro. For real.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah,
so
no.
Y'all was yelling at the TV, bro. Like that's you recommend.
I don't want anybody yelling at me though, because they ain't like it. But I get it. I just it's not there for me on a recommendation level. But overall, though, I'm more. And what I liked about the film is that, you know, it's a horror movie with people that just happen to be black, but it has the aesthetic of blackness in it that I could identify with, and I appreciate that. And it doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be super good. It doesn't have to knock it out of the park. I've watched plenty of below average. I've watched movies that are worse than this. Shit, I watched 2 on Shudder yesterday that I didn't like, you know, but I sit there and watch it, and, you know, I'm here for the stories. And overall, I understand why there's a mixed division over why people saying it's good and why people saying it's not. I totally get it. And up until the halfway mark of the movie, I was on board for it. It's just the ending. The ending took it out for me, and that's where I ended up with me not liking the movie overall. But there were definitely some really good strong points in it, some good discussion points in it, and I think just underlying, like, even though there's a demon in this, but just the horrors of alcoholism, of being a single mom, of abuse, and, you know, how that can trickle down to another parent being abusive to their kids, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of other things that can be pulled apart from this that can be discussed, you know, in terms of generational trauma, which was present here. And but yeah, overall, though, I like what he did with the film. I just think the story towards the end just fell apart for me, and that's why I ended up where I was at.
All right, Rod.
I mean, I just like that he kept it black, man. This movie was just like so black in a lot of different ways, even down to like how she was trying to pay her mom's medical bills. You would think they would have like a super estranged relationship, but she still wanted to take care of her mom. Like, once Medicaid wasn't accepted anymore, she started trying to pay the bills herself. So I'm dealing with that now, right? I have a father that didn't raise me, but I'm still handling things for him. So it's just really relatable. It's really like, I don't know, man. It hit a lot of different notes. Like I said, I think only a black person could have produced something like this. And I think that's important to be able to single yourself out like that, especially when we're creating things. So like, look, don't touch that. Cause we say it all the time. That person shouldn't have touched this movie. That person. So now we need somebody to actually be like, this is why we say don't touch this type of shit. This is why. So I really commend the movie for that. I really wish they would have brought that ending together a little bit better. That's my only major critique. But outside of that, man, like, no, man, I ultimately enjoyed it. Like I said, I was on the fence with it, but ultimately, like, I'm not gonna let it be like, oh yeah, that was a terrible movie, because it really was a compelling story.
Yep, I agree with y'all 100%. I'm all for it. I've been talking about black horror for a long time on here, and I really wish black horror got some legs. I think that what was great about this to me was that he took a very typical horror trope and just made black people in it. He didn't fucking Jordan Peele it. He didn't make it overly messagey. There was a message there, but it was subtle enough to work and not overly affect the film. So I would absolutely recommend this movie. I think everyone should watch it. Maybe not everyone, but, you know, if you like horror, I think you'll fuck with it. Now, I don't usually talk to Reddit, but I fuck with the Frames Reddit. make this known that y'all need a solo review. I'll make this a duo review of Nay and Nick covering this movie. Put your comments in, and Nay and Nick absolutely 100% need to cover this movie. I need to see it. Fuck that. I want to see it. Okay?
I want to too.
Leave your comments on Reddit and tag both of them. Harass them. I would never usually say harass people's wives and my homeboy Nick, but harass them. It needs to happen. Okay?
I'm gonna harass her too.
Please do.
I want to see that too. I want to see that too.
I would be lying if I did not hear Nick and Nay talking while I was watching this film. I'd be lying. So
I thought Nick was gonna be on here. I definitely did. I 100%.
I'm glad that it's 7. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I'm saying I'm glad that it's saved for Ratchet Watchables moment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that it's saved for that because I really think they could really get off on. I would want to see that too.
All right. Well, yeah. It looks like most of us enjoyed this. So Reddit, I'm definitely gonna be reading the comments on this one. But let us know what y'all thought. And Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and everybody else. Let us know what y'all thought about this one. Does Lee Daniels need to make any more horror films? Let us know. And that's going to do it. We out. Peace.
Peace.